Hello, everybody, and welcome to, well, my turn at the RP. This one is called Ruin Runners, and it's kind of a D&D inspired thing. But anyway, joining us for this one, we have Anastasia Lazerbeam as Paik,
Hello.
rogue, changeling rogue. And we also have Cardan Falpel and his wolf Krull, who is a half-dwarf hunter, played by Chriz the Mole.
Hello, everyone. Paik.
Nice. And we also have Phineas Umberdon, the elf librarian, played by Jim.
Hi, and yes, I did get that last name from an elf name generator.
The first name and the last name, you sound like someone I'd see in like a Nick Jr. show.
It does.
Okay then.
It does. I can just see him like.
It's Phineas Umberdunk, and he's here to teach you maths.
I can just see him with glasses and a bow tie.
I just see like a bright coloured elf going Umberdunk all the way to his like little board where he teaches them 1 + 1 is. That's right, kids. 2. Umberdunk.
You must be over there hanging out with the flowers that get high off of spelling.
That's right. And how many flowers get high off of spelling? 1, 2. Wait, drug overdose? Only 2.
1. 2. All right. So all right. So basically, this radio play is kind of D&D inspired, as I said before, but we're not really beholden to many of the rules, so we don't actually have dice or any of that stuff. There's no, your characters. There's no like permadeath or anything like that. It's just kind of like make a character. We'll have some fun. See where it goes.
Meaning Richter is the ultimate DM. Thank God he's not a horrible, relentless person who could just roll anything and make it up because the points don't matter.
Wait, is this the Whose Line Is It Anyway RPG?
Yes.
That would be an interesting thing to do.
Richter's inspired for his next go-around.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's not fair. He's part Goro, so he has multiple dice.
Part Goro, that means he has 3 arms.
Yeah, no, what is part Goro? Do you have two tiny arms, or is it 3 arms? Which is it?
He has 2 regular arms and 2 Tyrannosaurus arms.
It means your upper body is that of Goro.
Uh-huh.
Your lower body is that of a human.
If I add an N to your name, does that mean you turn into a rock-eating dude?
Yes.
His lower body is that of an Olympic runner.
So, like, has normal feet instead of the, like,
Yeah.
2-toed feet.
But sponsored by Adidas, because Olympic runner.
There you
And all his arms run at the side like the Liquid Terminator.
Yes. What was Goro's race? I don't even remember.
Oh, crap.
Because they're not Outworlders. Those were, like, the Baroccan, the Tarkatans or whatever I thought.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yes, Goro. Maybe he'll be back sometime.
Goro is part of the 4-armed, half-human, half-dragon race called the Shokan.
Ah, thank you.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
He is back. He was back in the last one.
Yay. Yeah, but he's going to need that, Pew, because he is the...
I have many books in my bag of holding.
Yes.
Do you have 50 Shades of Gandalf?
But also I think he should have a book near him so he always just hear page flickering.
I have a book sitting here if you want me to use it.
Whatever, it's up to you.
It's a great graphic novel biography of Stan Lee that me and Chriz the Mole are going to review down the line. Stay tuned.
Right, let's do this.
But Titans, go!
Dean Titans.
That's how we do things here at the
Yeah.
Pez of the Mind. We frequently run off topic, but that's okay. See, we gotta do it now. We gotta get it out of our systems.
Exactly. That's why Titans go puts us back on track.
There you go. You see, I don't want it to happen during, so Get it? It's like when a kid's got to go to bed, you make them go run outside first, get out all the energy, then they can go to bed. Got to get it all out, then we can do it, and then we can do it afterwards.
I don't. I stick a
it's dark.
funnel
I
in.
don't- I
I
can't
stick a
see.
funnel in their ass, Rick, and then I put hot coffee in it. Because I'm like, if I
Wow.
put coffee in their mouth, they stay awake. So if I do the reverse of pour it in their ass, they'll go to sleep.
Or
Fact.
die.
Science, Pew.
Actually, I'm pretty sure then they would absorb the caffeine faster. And would be
God, none
hyper
of you know
quicker.
science.
All I know is when you take alcohol in your ass, it bypasses your liver and you like die. So
Yeah, it does, because you absorb it all like just undiluted.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
it's the fast way to
there's-
kill someone.
yeah, it's like 100 proof or something. Like there's nothing. You're just taking it all straight alcohol to your veins. Like
And it's really easy to set that up. You just got to get someone to do a handstand, and then anyway,
you just need a douche.
there you go. And also,
You have experience with this.
I was
All
about
right,
to say,
so-
hi, Jim.
all right, and then also, so we'll get back to Rune Runners. Also introducing for this one, we have Arla Sheris, the Paladin, who will be played by Wifeblade.
Hello, everyone.
Whoa.
Yay, we
Hi.
finally have a decent female.
The hell?
See, I got clout. I can do this stuff in my radio play.
Sorry, Pew, you've been replaced.
Ouch.
Let's be honest here, Rick. I'm relatively certain she's just humoring you.
Well, we'll discuss that in the wrap-up episode, won't we? So stay tuned for that in 8 weeks, and then you'll find out.
Okay then.
Yeah, he can count.
I can.
He's already a step up.
Oh.
I know that's in like 6 weeks, right? Anyway,
Like sort of, kind of, literally, but not really.
Buzz.
buzz.
Is she like a special guest character or like a regular one?
No, Richter told you in advance he was gonna have random
Oh,
NPCs
yeah.
each episode to fill in what we needed.
Okay,
That was in his script document that you clearly didn't read.
And again,
Okay.
yeah, Pew's getting all jealous.
I know, right?
Obviously.
She like won't be here, right? Like for very long.
No, because it's not like under like characters. Like I was like 1, 2.
I know. Well, it's not a surprise if I put it in there beforehand.
Yeah, because then people will be like, I totally saw this like coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do I have to go back and edit the description now?
No, it's well,
No.
maybe later, not right this second.
Yeah, later.
Okay.
Well, obviously I don't mean right this second, but I mean at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well. But yeah, I gotta do. You know, if I have to live up to the title of the best one, I gotta bust out all the
That's
stops.
true.
I gotta do something special. I can't be a silent protagonist in this one.
No,
I
this
still
one
think-
would be narrating exactly like you were Richard Pryor. Go.
That would be impressive.
All right, so everybody ready to begin?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All
Yes,
right.
boss.
We
Are
begin
you-
in a. Oh.
I'm gonna say, are you reading the narration or are we reading our own narration?
You will narrate your characters when it's
Okay.
to the point. Hopefully, yeah. This might be a train wreck. We'll see. my aim is just above Ghostbusters #1.
Well, that's not really hard to beat.
Yeah, that's like I said. That shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because as the audience might notice, Marcus Shadow's not here, so.
Hi,
And
Marcus.
again,
All right. We begin in a small clearing near a tavern. It is a bustling scene where there are a lot of people sitting, drinking, talking. Inside, there are a lot of people. The door opens up, and a librarian steps in.
Phineas enters the bar and looks around. After a moment of observing all the people in the room, he steps up to the bar and addresses the bartender. Pardon me. My name is Phineas Umbadon, and I'm looking for the meeting of folks interested in the job posting that I saw around town. Would you mind know where those folks are meeting?
The bartender cocks an eyebrow and looks at him. He grunts and points to a table in the corner, and then goes back to washing his glasses.
Thank you, my good sir. Phineas leaves the bar and head towards the table at the corner where several people are already sitting. He sits down. Greetings, everyone.
Well, calm down, boy. Calm down. I think he's friendly.
Your dog doesn't bite, right?
If I'm attacked, it does.
Yeah, but he's not like he's not gonna start chewing on my arm or something, because I kind of need that.
No, he's safe. Who's a good boy?
The door opens up again, and a large cloaked man comes inside. He scans around and sees the group in the corner. He makes his way over there. Hello, I assume you are the group for the posting that I had at the guild, correct?
Well, I am.
Hey.
Indeed.
Yep, that's us.
Yep.
All right. Good enough then. So here's what I need from you. We had this ancient relic that was basically, well, it had a magical shield associated with it, and it was stolen. We're not quite sure how. But I would like you four to go and take it back. Now, it was stolen by a group of orc raiders, so you might need to. He motions his thumb across his throat. If you catch my drift.
I don't mean to be the bearer of logic here, but if your supposed artifact was so easily stolen by orc raiders, it clearly isn't a very effective magical shield.
Well, it's not always on. I mean, you have to activate it. It's not, otherwise you couldn't move it anywhere, unless you're just pushing the bubble around.
Fair enough.
Did you hear that, boy? We get to fight some orcs.
Yay.
I'm more interested in what we're gonna be paid.
Oh, yes. Well, of course. Well, your fee will be given you upon completion. It's hopefully it won't be too hard of a job. But upon completion, you will get. Let me see. There's 4 of you, so 400 to split amongst you. Does that sound fair?
Sounds relatively fair. Would we be penalized part of the reward if, say, the artifact accidentally got broken?
Yes, you'd be penalized probably all of it.
All right. Keep artifact intact.
And 100 seems fair.
All right, then.
Whoa. We're not going to agree on the division of profits before we actually finish the quest, are we?
It's a good motivator.
Maybe, but I don't know. I feel like those of us who do more of the work should get more of the reward, Maybe we should wait until after to decide who gets what.
I'm up for whatever the group decides. He says, stroking his dog.
What does everybody else think?
I feel like you may be instigating conflict.
I'm not trying to start a fight. Just, look, I'll be completely honest. I go where the money is. That's my shtick. I like the shiny. And if I'm doing all the work, I don't see why I have to share all the shiny.
Makes sense.
The lady makes a valid point, but we should also consider, especially given that we've only just met, what are the chances of us actually agreeing on who did what amount of work when we get back?
I suppose it's a fair point. After all, I don't even really know any of your names.
Ah, yes. Excuse me. That is my fault. I gave you a job and didn't introduce you to each other. Well, first off, my name is Teo Meden. And sitting over here, he gestures toward the elf. This is Phineas Umberdon. Sitting next to him, he motions at the changeling. This is Paik.
Hello.
He then motions at the hunter. And this is Cardan and his partner.
Pleasure.
He then gives a strange look to the last one. And the half-dragon lady sitting here is Arla Sheris.
We call you Arlo. That's pretty like long name.
I prefer to go by Aris,
Okay.
and I have really only one major request of anyone I work with. Don't ask me to fly.
Very well. All right, so it seems everyone is in agreement to take the job, and hopefully I've introduced you properly. So, you're upon successful completion, then why don't you take up your discussion of how to split the profits once the job is completed? No sense, counting your eggs before they hatch, as it were. So I will leave the payment with the bartender actually, no, I will have it. Excuse me. I don't trust him. He doesn't talk very much. I don't know if I trust him. So when you go out to the forest, I have sent an animal companion there to lead you to the orc camp, and then from there, it's up to you to bring the relic back. So I hope to hear of your successful mission soon.
Will you be here when we're finished?
Yes, I will be here.
Okay.
The druid then turns and walks outside.
This should be fun.
Indeed, quite an interesting journey we have ahead of us.
Just don't step on my tail.
The group gets up and leaves out through the tavern door. As they reach the edge of the forest, a small fox comes up to them. He barks softly, and then motions his head.
I think we found our animal companion guide thingy. What is that thing?
What did the fox say?
He barks playfully at them.
I don't speak fox. Is there anyone who can translate fox?
The fox grumbles, turns, and starts to trot away, stops, looks at them, looks forward, and trots again.
I think he wants us to follow him. He's looking at us the similar way Kroll normally does when I'm on a hunt. And he seems to be friendly, or Kroll would have gone for him. Isn't that, boy?
Then I suggest we follow our guide.
The group follows the fox to the edge of the forest. As they reach it, they can see the orc camp right in front of them, but they are still covered by the darkness of the forest. The fox shakes his head at them and then trots off, his job done.
All right.
All right, team, how do we want to handle this? I assume the village in front of us is where the artifact.
I could turn into an orc and scout about. Or
And
we
my
could just be
shield.
stealthy, or we could just go in there and kill everybody, or,
I should
anything.
I should probably stay back here and be like a lookout, he says, pulling out his bow, while still holding onto his walking stick, hoping the group doesn't notice his legs in pain.
So, how do you guys want to play this?
Well, your suggestion is valid. Orcs are not the most perceptive creatures from what I've read. I doubt they would notice an extra wandering around.
Okay.
It makes logical sense. If we at least have an idea of where in the village the artifact is located, we can determine the fastest route to get there with the least amount of resistance.
Alright. So I'll just
Yep.
pop my head in there, take a look around, see what I can see.
Don't worry. If you're in danger, come where I can see you, and I'll take the shot, he says, gesturing to his bow.
You mean you're gonna kill me?
I mean, if something's attacking you, I would kill it with its bow.
Oh, okay. It
Don't
sounded
be an
like
idiot.
if I was in danger, like you'd put me out of my misery. Okay. So, okay.
But no, I'm only going to put an arrow in you if you decide you want a bigger cut. I'm mostly joking, but not really.
Except for the dragon lady. Alright, so Pig transforms into an orc and waits for the guard's attention to be drifted and walks into camp.
An orc walking nearby stops and turns. Hey, what are you doing over there?
I'm just getting back from a guard shift change.
Okay, what were you guarding?
I was supposed to be guarding this shield. Can you direct me of it?
Still in the boss's camp, in his tent. What? It shouldn't have moved. Doesn't have legs.
Thanks. She walks along looking for the tent.
Cardan pulls out his bow and an arrow and stretches it back, just to be on the safe side, using his walking stick as a tripod almost to rest upon, while his bow remains. Don't worry, boy. She'll be okay.
Aris pulls out her sword, checks the hone, and ensures it will be sharp enough to cut through orc flesh.
Alright, if I was a guard captain dude, whatever, where would I be? Probably the biggest building. She walks up to the biggest building and opens the door. Enters.
Inside is some hastily set up furniture and a large orc laying down on a mat, asleep. To the right of him is a makeshift wooden table, which sits upon a small dragon statue.
Alright. Just gonna walk around this dude, have a look around, see if I can see a shield, maybe some side rooms. She tiptoes and walks around into head of a side room. Nope.
The orc from earlier comes in the tent and walks up to Pake, still disguised as an orc. What are you doing? The relic's over there. He points at the small dragon statue. You looking for something?
No, I'm not. Thank you so much, though.
Okay. Damn newbies. He turns and grunts and walks out of the tent.
You're right. I should inform other orcs so they don't make the same mistake. I'm gonna go do that now.
Okay.
She leaves the giant tent and attempts to walk out of the village.
You know, in the future, librarian, you should probably give her information about the area and orcs in general, because, yeah, she looked like she was stumbling around down there like she didn't have a clue.
Keen observation. I'll be sure to note it for our next little outing, assuming there is one.
You know, it's kind of an important point. We were hired to look for an artifact. The man who hired us never told us what it looked like.
That is true.
Valid point. That is a bit suspicious.
Well, maybe not suspicious, maybe just forgetful?
It was probably a little forgetful, and based on the fact these are orcs and all I see is huts, I'm thinking the artifact would be whatever didn't look really terrible in their location, so maybe he was a tad racist and thought orcs couldn't have nice things.
It's possible that the forgetful one also would seem to make sense, considering he even forgot to introduce us to each other until we pointed it out.
That is a good point.
Pig approaches the others. So, I found out where they're keeping the shield, and it doesn't even look like a shield. It looks like a dragon statue, and it's in their main biggest tent, like right in the center. Once you enter the biggest tent. Yeah.
What will we be facing?
I saw one guard there who seemed very tired. He was just woke up from a nap when I entered the tent. And there's a few guards walking around. They seem very nonchalant about everything.
Good, that makes this easy.
Yeah.
I'd suggest you with the sword. I'd suggest you take out the guard. Did she sword there? I'll keep an eye out on the ones on the outer rim. Librarian, what do your books say about a giant dragon statue? Because I've seen artifacts like that. Last time I touched an artifact, half a village went up in flames.
Indeed, ancient magical artifacts can be highly unpredictable. Let me take a look. The librarian reaches into his bag of holding, pulling out a book and beginning to flip through it.
Also, while you're looking, you might want to
Changeling, you should probably go with the woman with the sword, because if worst comes to worst, if you turn back to normal, you'd be bait.
Yes. And also, we want to make sure not to activate the shield, because I believe he said it was hard to move the bubble around. So if you activate, it'll be harder to move.
The name is Aris, not one with the sword. Remember, I'm being paid to help you. I'm not being paid to be polite.
She has a point. Isn't that right, boy? He says, stroking his dog.
Unfortunately, the books don't say much about this particular artifact other than that it's relatively small in size and it has to be activated in order for it to be of any use. Otherwise, it's nothing more than a trinket.
How is it activated? The last thing I want to do is accidentally turn it on in a camp full of orcs.
Ironically, if what he said about it being a magical shield is true, it might actually help us escape if we did activate it.
But he said we can't move it if we activate it.
Besides,
It will only help if we activate it while the orcs are outside the bubble.
That is also true, and besides, you don't need to worry about us escaping, librarian. I have a load of arrows here. I got a dog. She has a sword. I'm pretty sure the changeling might know how to fight. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we can take on some orcs. I mean, come on. They're really dumb.
This is true. There's a note here. Activation of the artifact only triggers by a verbal phrase. So without these supposed magic words, it should be inert.
And we don't know the phrase, and they probably don't know the phrase, so
And
it probably won't get activated.
And if we did, we probably wouldn't want to say it out loud.
Oh. Judging by my studies, magic words are typically not something that would come up in ordinary conversation. Normally they're a bit complex and normally in one of the Elvish languages or sometimes one of the others, so the chances of us stumbling across them are slim to none, and the chances of the orcs ever figuring it out are nigh impossible.
Alright, shall we do this?
Good luck.
All right, changeling. Shall we go?
Yes. She cocks up her crossbow.
I'll follow you since you know the way.
Agreed.
Alright.
If things go south, I'll try to act as a distraction. Orcs have a natural enmity to my people. They're not big fans of us. They'd be more likely to attack me than either of you.
Alright.
I'll be honest, I've only just met you. I'm not a big fan of you.
Well, I respect your honesty.
You're welcome.
I think I can get her, I think I can get us the closest. If while I'm an orc, I'll say, you're a prisoner, and I'll take you to the main tent, and then when there, we just release everything.
A prisoner who still has her sword. It's a good idea, but I think we need to refine it a bit.
I'll give you back your sword as soon as we enter the tent.
Whoa. I don't know if I trust you with my sword. The sword has been passed down for generations.
Honestly,
It's part
these
of Dragon
people seem like they don't notice much. They probably won't even know you still have your sword.
Perhaps the librarian has a concealing spell he could cast upon it?
Well, Finn?
Librarian.
Apologies, I was studying the books, learning a bit more about orcs.
What do you need to know about orcs? They're big, they're stupid, they're easy to kill.
One thing I've learned in my days is one can never have too much knowledge about a given situation.
Perhaps. In this case, however, all we really need to know is if you have a concealing spell that will work on my sword, so that I do not have to hand it to the changeling, but can keep it upon my person.
Let me check my books here. He switches out to a different book and begins scanning it.
Where do you keep all those books?
I have a bag of holding here. Proves quite useful for holding on to my many books and not taking up too much space on the journey.
Awesome.
As he looks through the books, down below, an orc approaches another one and starts conversing with him. He then starts motioning his hand all over. The other orc looks alarmed and draws his weapon as the two walk off in different directions to go patrolling.
Am I the only one who noticed the orcs acting strangely just now?
They may have become suspicious based on their movement pattern. I think they may be onto the changeling.
Well, then we better act quickly. Here, this should work, at least for a short time. He reaches toward the sword, making a gesture with his hand and mumbling something under his breath as the sword is concealed.
Amazing. I know it's there, but I can't even see it.
How did she get it unconcealed?
Well, either I can remove the spell at the appropriate time, or it'll wear off. Whichever
You
happens.
have to fight with invisible sword. Okay.
I imagine that would be far more intimidating to an idiotic orc.
That
To
sounds
have
good.
an invisible sword hacking it to pieces.
She makes a valid point. That would be quite frightening.
Just don't drop it. You might not find it again.
That would be, but shouldn't you give her the anti-concealing spell? Just in case if your guys are splitting up, because if you die horribly, nothing worse than losing your sword. And of course we would mourn you.
It'll take more than an orc to take me down. I am, after all, dragonkind.
Oh, I completely agree. I was thinking about the librarian dying and not being able to undo your spell.
You said it'll just wear off anyway, so if he
As,
dies,
as,
we'll just
as
skip
I
it.
said, that particular concealment is only a short-term spell that should wear off after a short time.
So let's go and not waste any more of the time it's being concealed.
Agreed. They're getting more suspicious by the moment, judging by the patterns.
Agreed. Let us go.
Okay.
The group heads down the hill yes.
Oh, I was just saying, don't worry, I got your back from up here. I can spot everywhere, he says, pointing his bow.
That's reassuring.
The changeling walks forward, walks back into the camp. Hey, I've got some prisoners. I caught them.
Okay. Oh, that's the elf everyone's been smelling. All right. Take him to the holding tent. He makes a vague motion toward one of the tents that is more box-shaped. And we'll let the boss know.
Thanks. She continues walking.
I don't know what's wrong with that orc.
She starts walking towards the biggest tent. And she opens the door and steps inside.
Aris follows, her sword in her hand but still sheathed. Where is this orc?
Is he
I
still
want to get the
sleeping?
drop on him.
Maybe he's in a different room.
Oh, well, if there's no orc in this room, let's grab the thing and go.
Alright. She grabs the statue and puts it in her pack.
Just then one of the small orcs notices it. Hey! What are you doing? You can't be stealing that. That's ours. Wait a minute. You're not one of us. Boys, boys! He yells outside the tent.
Well, crap. Aris draws her sword and immediately runs the small orc through. Looks like it's gonna be a fight.
Yep. She changes. She keeps her disguise and gets her crossbow ready.
Ah, crap. Krull, get down. Neither of us are getting any younger, he says as he takes shot at one of the guards.
Pig
Aris
leaves the tent.
Aris charges out of the tent, her invisible sword in hand, searching for her next target.
A few more orcs run up to the tent, answering the war call.
Pig fires a bolt at one of the guards.
Oh.
Aris charges laughingly into the fray, her sword decapitating one orc and running another through. This is amazing! I haven't had this much fun in ages!
Pig fires a few more crossbolts.
Oh. More orcs come out from the surrounding tents and charge the group.
Phineas steps out of the tent and sees the charging orcs. He is now holding one of his books. Really? Well, haven't used this one in a while. He makes a hand gesture and then swings his arm in a bowling motion as a ball of fire is conjured and rolls on the ground, bowling over a group of orcs, burning them in the process.
It's impressive.
Ooh, night fire!
Indeed. Quite a thrill to conjure the elements.
Yeah, just make sure you don't hit the tents. We want to kill the orcs, not ourselves.
Or start a forest fire.
Indeed.
Cardan pulls back his bow, again firing an arrow through the air right into a guard. May not be as cool as that fire, but it gets the job done, he says to his dog, who is now cowering on the floor.
That's a nice shot you got. We'll have to go, have archery contest sometime.
Contest leader leaving now.
Yes. They head towards the exit, surrounding wall.
As they start to leave, the tent door is ripped off, and a giant 10-foot orc with a big axe in one hand comes out. Well, what do you think you're doing? You came to the wrong place, didn't you? But it's not a mistake you're gonna make twice. He then rushes him, swinging the axe at the ground.
Aris dodges, still laughing. Ooh, a bigger target.
Pake steps takes 10 paces back and starts firing a few crossbolts at it.
Some of the bolts stick in his armor, and some go through his thigh. What are you, a traitor?
Yes.
He says. He then turns and sees Arliss and swings his sword. Get her, lizard woman! He takes a giant
Lizard woman? Lizard woman? Alright, that's it. I may have started this for the money, but I'm gonna finish it now. Her sword, still invisible in her hand, Aris charges between the monster's legs, dodging his blows, and then, with a backhand maneuver, slices deep in the back of his knee.
Ooh, a nice shot.
Ugh! The orc grunts as he crumples onto one knee, propping himself up with his axe.
Cardan studies his breathing as he takes a shot, firing an arrow towards the big orc's eye.
With a sickening squish, the arrow goes into the orc chieftain's eye. He
Pig
mumbles
falls
as he
asleep.
grasps his head.
Shoots in his other eye, with his head still lower to the ground, easier to aim.
The arrow penetrates that eye. Ah! Clearly enraged, the orc has dropped his axe and is just wildly smashing the ground in front of him.
Aris, still behind him, turns, runs, jumps, and plunges her sword directly into the back of the giant orc.
Ah!
And
Blood
that's
coming.
for calling me lizard woman!
The giant orc chieftain tries desperately to grab behind his back as he cannot see and blood is dripping from his mouth.
Poor bastard.
Arliss twists the sword to make the damage worse.
The orc puts his hands in front of him to catch himself from falling, and eventually all life leaves him, and he hits the ground with a massive thud, no longer moving.
Arliss removes her sword from the back of the orc, wipes it on the back of his tunic, and then sheathes it again. That takes care of that.
That was impressive.
You got some serious skill.
Well, dragon kind. We're stronger and faster and, well, kind of just better than average humans.
Quite true, but I we'll say the books do not do your kind justice.
That was seriously badass. Oh,
Well, he shouldn't have called me Lizard Woman.
Clearly. At any rate, you have the artifact, correct?
I do. I have the artifact.
Then I suggest we head back, we gather our comrade from outside the village and head back and collect our pay.
Hey, I think you can come out now, boy, he says, as Krull the dog slowly comes out. Cardell begins to mount him for the long journey ahead.
All right, back to the tavern.
The group heads back into the woods to go back to the tavern. Out in front of the tavern, the fox trots up near the door and then morphs into a large man wearing a cloak that is the druid from earlier. He then looks around and heads inside. The group shortly after comes back to the tavern and goes inside as well. They see the druid sitting at the table where they met earlier. Well, good to see you back. I assume that your mission was successful then?
Well, we did it.
Yes, we did.
It was
Indeed.
actually kind of fun.
Although we were all discussing it earlier. If you're gonna do this again, tell us what it looks like.
Pig hands over the statue from her pack.
Tell reaches over and grabs the statue from her hand. You're right. I'm sorry about that, he said, scratching his head nervously. I was supposed to tell you what it looked like. That was my fault. But I'm glad you found it. This is definitely it. So thank you very much. This was a very successful completion, he says as he tucks it into his own bag. Well then, he brings out a bag of money. Puts it on the table. Here's your 400, as was promised. You can count it if you need be, but I'll be at the guild down the road if you have any problems with it. But I think you did a very good job, so I just might be looking to hire you people in the future. He says. He stands up and then leaves through the door.
All right, so that was fun, and I would say we all carried our own weight. So dividing it evenly amongst the four of us seems fair. And you have no idea how much it hurts to say that.
Aw, that's so nice of you. You were super charging there like a badass and everything. I could never do that. Someone as thin-boned and fragile as me, but you really kicked some serious ass and just went fearless.
Indeed, I can safely say we would not have succeeded were it not for your presence. I'm not much of a combatant myself.
Oh, I don't know, fire magic's pretty powerful there.
The elements can be quite useful, but they are not easy to conjure.
And with this money, don't worry, boy, I'll get you a steak tonight.
Pig takes the 100 gold from the pile, puts it in her pouch.
Arliss takes her 100, stroking each coin lovingly. Ah, come, my pretty shinies. Tonight, you're going into the Horde.
Phineas takes his take and puts it into his bag of holding with his books. Excellent. That'll be good for purchasing a few more books later.
All right, well, if that's everything, I have a Horde to get back to.
Indeed, it was a pleasure working with you all, and if our friend in the cloak says what he says is true, then perhaps we will meet again.
Yep, I'm normally around this area. Someone my age can't exactly do much, so yeah, I'm in.
I'll go wherever the money is.
And with that, the group turns and goes their separate ways, ready for the next job. The end.
Yay.
Freeze frame ending.
I was gonna say we all jumped in the air, freeze frame.
That's the end of the last one.
There we go.
It plays "Don't You Forget About Me" or something.
Yes! And then he gives a flash-up card telling what happened to each of us.
Yes.
Wow.
Sorry, I
Cadell lost
forgot
the use of his other leg, but don't worry. Through a speaking device known only as the book given to him by the librarian, he was able to communicate, and that's how he became Stephen the Hawk, the greatest scientist of this area.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Okay, then.
Origin story.
Evidently.
Yeah, fact.
Fact.
All right, so there you have it, our first episode. I totally forgot to describe it because I had a picture. I was going to show a picture of it, so I didn't write myself a note to describe it because I was going to show a picture, and then that didn't work, and I forgot to change it. So that was my fault. But other than that, it went pretty well.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. You were busy turning into a fox and saying this way instead of being the druid and saying that way.
Yeah.
Much more helpful. Over that way, by the way, you're looking for a giant dragon statue.
Yeah, that would have been useful.
It's cool. No descriptions and just a fox that we have to interpret. That works too.
Yeah.
It all worked out in the end. That's what matters.
You figured out pretty quick that you're supposed to follow him.
I did.
He can't.
Because
Talk.
I was like, you were doing the like a dog does. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
As long as there are no comments about Lassie and falling down wells, I think we're good.
And I got to keep something for my dog.
I got worried because when Westblade made the comment, I started going, "Oh crap! Do I have a translation spell?" But luckily somebody took care of it for me.
Yeah, I mentioned I knew he said, 'cause I was like, yeah, my best friend's a dog. I'm pretty sure I know how to speak canine a bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I had to do the what did the fuck say.
That was good. That was a good reference. That was nicely done. All right, take us home, Richter.
All right, so thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to everyone who was in this one.
My
You're
pleasure.
welcome, and thank you for writing an awesome episode.
Oh, and I just wrote this one.
Wow.
All right, so come back next week and see some more adventures of the Ruin Runners. Good night.
Yeah.